Hey everyone, I'm Tamara Krinsky with the Red Carpet Report. We're here this morning at the Governor's Ball preview for the Oscars, where we're going to get a behind-the-scenes look at just what it takes to put together Hollywood's fanciest party. All right, I am here with Stephen, who is one of the Masters of Whisky for Diageo. My first question is, what does a Master of Whisky do?
Well, I have the pleasure of working across the entire Diageo whiskey portfolio. So not only do I work across Scotch whiskey, but I also work with Irish whiskey, bourbon, American whiskey, Tennessee whiskey, Canadian whiskey. So that's where the idea comes from.
Do you have a favorite geography? Are you loyal to any one region?
My favorite whiskey is generally whichever one's in my hand. I'm not going to lie. You know, they're all so different. The world of whiskey fascinates me. And I mean, at the end of the day, I always say I'm a guy that just loves great whiskey. So, my roots are definitely in bourbons and American whiskey. So if I'm looking for that spice and oak and vanilla, that's where I'll look. But then I love going over to Scotland. And, this year we're featuring the ultimate luxury whiskey bar at the Governor's Ball. So we have some amazing Scotch whiskeys. Not only with the Johnnie Walker blended Scotch whiskeys, we have 2 single malts and also a single grain Scotch whiskey that we're featuring this year.
Now, for someone who may not be used to drinking whiskeys, what do you recommend as a starting point?
The first thing I always do is I always want to find out a little bit about you. I would say, well, what do you enjoy? Are you a vodka drinker, a tequila drinker?
Okay, so let's diagnose me. I'm a vodka drinker and a tequila drinker. I don't like gin. So that's the place to start.
All right, so tequila is a great place to start. So I would assume maybe añejos, reposadas. You like some things with some age on them. So you're already used to a little bit of that nice oak influence coming in.
Yeah.
So in the world of Scotch, then I would either kind of think, well, do we want to start you with a blended Scotch whiskey, like a Johnnie Walker, maybe Johnnie Walker Platinum? And I believe you had tried the Scots Pear, or you and Joe were talking about that, which is a great place to start. Or I might look at the Hague Club. Hague Club is a single grain Scotch whiskey. And this is a whiskey we developed in partnership with Simon Fuller and David Beckham. For a first-time whiskey drinker, and even for someone like myself who's an aficionado, it's a lovely, approachable whiskey. A lot of vanilla and butterscotch. It has this kind of soft fruitiness to it. So
okay, you are seducing me now with this description, and it's not just because of David Beckham.
So we could even start there, or I might, start you with Mortlach, which is also a lovely single malt, and it's kind of one of those best-kept secrets I always say Mortlach is. It's a whiskey that we not only use in blending, but we also use it as a single malt as well, and that's going to have a nice, fruity, kind of very savory quality to it. Or we could jump over to one of the Johnnie Walker whiskeys. Platinum has this kind of oak and vanilla and citrus and nuttiness to it, or the Gold Label Reserve, which we're actually, as part of the Governor's Ball, we're doing Scotch and Sodas with the Gold Label Reserve, kind of the speakeasy theme, makes sense. And that's going to have a nice sweet smoke, light fruit, just really beautiful flavor that's going to shine through in a Scotch and Soda.
Well, thank you so much for describing and for diagnosing me. You guys now have a whole bunch of choices, new things to try, and why not try them on Oscar night and feel like you're right here at the celebration. Thanks so much. All right, so I am going to get a taste of my prescribed diagnosed whiskey. So let's see how it goes. So tell me what we're having here.
So we're having Hague Club. The Hague family is such a long history in Scotland with the Hague family and the House of Hague. And this is a whiskey that we developed in partnership with Simon Fuller and David Beckham. It's a single grain Scotch whiskey. So you don't see a lot of those out there. So something very, very new, especially to the U.S. market. But I thought this one would be the perfect one for you because I think you're going to get a lot of butterscotch and vanilla. It's going to have a nice almost kind of coconut fruitiness to it.
The way you're describing it, I kind of want to drizzle it over some ice cream.
Well, as long as it's responsible, I guess one could do that, of course.
Always responsible.
I always say whiskey is meant to be enjoyed however you'd like to enjoy it. But let's see what you think.
That's really nice. That's really nice. It's very warm.
I always try to steer folks in the right direction. And basically you said, you like tequila, you like some aged tequilas. I started thinking about oak and some of the influences there. And I thought this would be a great Scotch to bring you over to the world of whiskey.
Welcome. It's not super strong. It's got a really nice, I can taste the butterscotch in it like you were describing.
The thing I love about it, it's super approachable. It's great neat. If you add an ice cube, it's great. Or you could even do a cocktail with it. So it's got a lot of versatility to it, which is one of my favorite things.
If you were going to do a simple cocktail recipe to recommend to the folks at home with this, what would you recommend adding to it?
One of the things I love, it's called the Hague Clubman. Very, very simple. It's Hague Club, it's a sparkling apple soda, and then a little dash of ginger bitters.
Okay, I think I know what I'm making on Oscar night. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us for our coverage of the Governor's Ball preview. I am kind of sad to leave this absolutely gorgeous setting behind. I kind of want to just curl up with a book. But this beautiful design, inspired by the Academy's library collection, will be on full display after the ceremony in a couple of weeks, which I am really looking forward to. If you like what you saw, please click like. If you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and let us know in the comments who you'll be rooting for on Oscars night.